Alright, hello everyone. Gonna get started here with 2Calculate2Throw versus Gillyhshark. Both teams doing fairly well in Division A East. 2Calculate2Throw hasn't gotten a match win yet, but arguably they've played two of what you would consider the two or three best teams in A East in Sky 5 and Insomnia, and they took maps off both, just unable to close out the series. Gillyhshark, on the other hand, also lost 2-1 to Insomnia. And so to that end, it's going to be, I'm just letting them know I'm ready. It's going to be an interesting series. I think this is a good benchmark series for both teams. 2Calculate2Throw, they've been playing well. They've been exceeding my expectations, certainly. Can they get that next step? Can they get the win? If they don't win here, they'll probably do well the rest of the season. I think they're one of the better A East teams, but they're not going to have that opportunity to get that signature win, I think, because right now this is the third of kind of the three top teams a lot of people had in mind heading into the season. So important to get that going. But with that, looks like we should be hopping into the draft fairly soon. In fact, there we go. Thank you, Ryakai, for the host. So it should be a fun series. Both these teams, I think, have a lot to earn or prove here, as I just realized there's a little bit of a bug on my end, but should be very fixable. Just need a couple of seconds to get everything straightened out here. But, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see this game. Hang on, seem to be having some issues here. There we go. So, BOE, straight away, a Vala ban. Something that we've seen Gillyhshark do on this map with the Q build, so makes sense. Joanna going to be banned out. Very high ban rate here, of only 3 seconds on the ban, so locked fairly quickly there. Next ban to come in. If they're trying to control Burn, they do have the option to pick Greymane first. So maybe they ban out something like Artanis, who with his recent buff is definitely seeing a much higher pick rate now. Dadven, it's not NGS's. Well, we do have more tools now with NGS, but on my end, I'm just using the tools better. I've taken some time to learn them, and so I've tried to increase my production value to match that of my colleagues. Samuro banned out. That actually is something that we forgot about. Stark's Samuro is scary. So scary that it's good on maps you wouldn't normally think about Samuro. Now, it was getting banned out last season when Stark was tanking, so a bit surprised, maybe just a cautionary ban. But you see right away the ETC picked up by X-Havoc, arguably the most popular, I think he is actually the most popular tank after Joanna at this point. Taking a look at that popularity, you can see, currently 69%, only a 48% win rate. But there you see Phoenix, and we haven't really seen a lot of Phoenix lately. He hasn't been that kind of primary hero. Now, last time I casted this team, I think I saw Zemel, or last time I watched the team, I think I saw Zemel healing. So it might be that this is just a swap up to adjust, or maybe this is just with the roster they have in, they think this gives them the best bit. For those who haven't been watching this season, that Rhaegar first pick tells me that we're going to see something like Raynor grabbed if it's not banned out here, which I think there's a fair chance it is. But if it's not, we're going to see Bloodlust, is what I fully expect. Bloodlust Rhaegar definitely is the way to go, especially into the Ana, who's going to have that grenade, and I think Ekdar has the skill to actually prevent Ancestral from landing.
Anytime you're ready.
Yep, there it is. It's Bloodlust. That's an Uther. That's going to be an Uther tank who does very well with the mobility, and that is absolutely a Bloodlust Rhaegar. And that's the norm right now, frankly. I've seen, I believe, more Bloodlust games than Ancestral games at this point. So I already like this comp a lot. They can pair it really with any offlaner. One that maybe has some degree of engage, like Blaze, I think would work well. We see Yrel coming out. Yrel, very good at kind of disengaging stuff. Very good at kind of baiting in a lot of damage. And then just popping that. No Zul pickup yet. Actually, I thought we might have seen Zul. Hang on. What? Wait. I love it. Oh my god, I love this comp. We have... So no Zul this game, but you know what we do have? We have triple support. We have Rhaegar, Uther, Tyrande. It's triple support, granted against Ana, but it is still a triple support comp. Oh my goodness. Okay. Gillyhshark has always kind of been able to do some unconventional things and be very good with it. This is one of those unconventional things. I'm gonna be honest. I like it, but we're gonna hop right into the game here. And we're going to take a minute and just introduce our team. On the left side, it's going to be Cry on Tyrande, Chess Looter on Li Ming, Stark on the Uther, Ryokai on Raynor, and Zergy Monster is going to be on Sylvanas. And over on the right side, 2Calculate2Throw, it's going to be Fear on Lunara, Zemmel on Phoenix, Colonel Pants up in the top on the Yrel, X-Havoc on ETC, and Ektar on Ana. And looks like it's going to be Rhaegar heading to the top lane to match Colonel Pants here. We're going to take our attention right down to the bottom here. Owl comes out, didn't connect with anyone. Always a bad sign when you don't hit that first owl. Gotta be worried when that doesn't happen. Wisp going to spot out Stark there on the Uther. Let's take a look at those talents. Relegate, Alun's chosen. Uther going with that stun kind of tanky build. Uther actually extremely low, and with the grenade, just not going to be able to get anything. Great grenade there by Ektar, and great follow-up by Lunara and Phoenix there. And now, power slide onto Raynor, sleep dart there, Phoenix stepping up, Ryokai is low, Ryokai gets the grenade, and down he goes. And Ektar landing these grenades extremely well so far. Oh my goodness. Alright. Rhaegar up in the top, healing the minions right now. Rhaegar, one of the few healers that can still heal minions. Going with that W build. Ming going with the spell armor, which I'm kind of surprised by. I don't really see a ton of spell damage. But that said, it does come with the passive mana regen. Just surprised we didn't see something like Power Hungry here, maybe. Meanwhile, Uther Raynor gonna go ahead and take the camp, and you know, one of the things about this kind of comp, you don't have the best camp clear, but you're supplementing that with a Raynor who did go Exterminator, and that's gonna help. Raynor does come down to try to limit the damage onto this bottom tower. But meanwhile, Yrel able to take that top siege camp and put some extra pressure on to this Rhaegar. Keeping our attention though down here in the bottom, 3v4 at the moment. Uther holding this camp, ready to finish, wanting to time it with the end of the phase. That said, already, even at this stage, a very big XP lead. Keep in mind that, of course, absolute XP of each level increases, so the difference will appear smaller, but that's still half a level difference 2 minutes into the game. That's fairly significant, mostly coming from that tower damage. Strong showing from Div C. Trollolololol. Anyway, where is that meme gone? I missed the trollololol guy. Does anyone else miss the trollololol guy? Ana gonna cap. Both teams really good discipline. I like that Anna's gonna be able to hold it a bit longer, but as soon as that owl sees it, gonna have to just cap it. Can't afford the invade there. If anything, you know, smart move by the owl to force it into lane sooner, but right away, we're seeing Gillyhshark in position to burn with the Raynor. Little bit later to rotate. on the side of 2Calculate2Throw. Now they're up a level. And already, I mean, this bottom tower is just very, very heavily damaged. And now they're pushing up, actually looking for the defend, 2Calculate2Throw. Yrel is going to go in. They're going to try to look for the Raynor. Raynor gets the sleep dart. There's the grenade. Down he goes. And this grenade from Ana is just... I mean, Ektar is playing an exceptionally good game. And we're 3.5 minutes into the game. I mean, this is just sensational grenade usage. This is, it's securing the kills. It's countering that triple support we're seeing. You think these heroes are going to be immortal, but... You know, Raynor is just getting locked down, and right as the heals are starting to come in, the Ana grenade is there, nullifying it out. And so normally you don't see defensives effective at this level, but it looks like we might see that. Rhaegar and Uther trying to finish, and they are going to finish just barely, but still, that went from a pretty dominant-looking shield on the side of Gillyhshark to barely a shield at all. Ektar lands grenades. Oh, fighting words. So with that, Gillyhshark now looking to push up with this Immortal, but the shields were down immediately. And already it's down to about half health, almost. Does get the first tower down. ETC gonna get stunned, gonna take some damage, but has the armor from his Rock Star, so gonna be okay. Meanwhile, Rhaegar, Yrel just kind of dancing around each other in the bot lane. But definitely an advantage early to Yrel in terms of being able to harass Rhaegar. And meanwhile, T-Tors, as Phoenix goes down in the top, possibly an over pursuit. Now the question is, will X-Havoc be able to get out? Indeed, he is able to get out. But this will turn into a top camp, so help generate some pressure. To maybe finish up this wall, maybe get some fort damage on top for Gillyhshark. Lunara looking like she's going to rotate down, maybe try to pressure up this bottom camp. Rhaegar won't be able to do much against Lunara. Rhaegar can actually solo lane fairly well, but into a Lunara, into that poke damage, it's not really going to be able to step up, but that is Lunara focusing primarily on the camp. I think Rhaegar sniffs it out and just wanting to soften up soften up this wave a bit. Now, Lunara's starting to rotate back top for this defense. The tower has gone down. There's the power slide looking at Ryukai, but damage is there. And X-Havoc... Ooh, Ryukai very low, and Tyrande sleeping. She does wake up in time to heal. Should be noted, we did not see the anti-healer talent on the grenade. That's the extended range of the grenade paired with the longer duration of the heal reduction. Sticking with that full sleep dart build, which, you know, the level 7 Night Terrors, very, very valuable. You know, it gives you that movement speed if you hit multiple targets. Or hit a single target, I should say. And it gives that 10% damage. It actually makes Ana do a fair amount of damage, a respectable amount. But right now, Bruiser Camp pushing in the bottom will get cleaned up by Gillyhshark. So right now, they're going to get a little bit of a macro edge here. 2Calculate2Throw wanting to change that out for Immortal Burn. X-Havoc down, ready to zone. Here comes big 4-man power slide, knocking everyone back. It's down to about 6,000 health. Focus there onto ETC. ETC going to be able to walk away. Colonel Pants with a big knockback, but now tries to dive back in. Instead, barely escapes the Immortal stun. Rhaegar on the chase actually gets a cleanse there. The Immortal down to about 3,000 health, but it is standing, and we are going to have to see 2Calculate2Throw back up. They're going to send Yrel bot to deal with this Bruiser. No, excuse me, they're not. They're going to go all in for this. They're going to give up that pressure on their fort. They're going to allow it to go through. Here comes Phoenix looking for the big salvo. Actually gets missed there. Nano boost onto Lunara, trying to just get some damage out, but this triple support healing everything up. Still, though, 2Calculate2Throw getting a fairly healthy Immortal out of this. That said, they have lost their bottom wall now. Looks like they want to push with this. ETC starting to rotate up. Did drop back for a tap there for mana. Taking a look, it is Mosh, Ardent Defender, Salvo, Leaping Strike, and Nano Boost. Some of those we mentioned, of course, before. Against Starfall, Divine Shield, Lust, as expected, Wave of Force, and Rainer's Raiders. And a cleanse there used onto Rainer, encouraging him to back up. This fort is definitely going to fall. Immortal is about to die, though, but there's still minions there. Pretty safe chance to get the fort and retreat, and actually looking like they want to immediately get onto this top siege camp. That Wisp from Lunara there actually giving vision. But the rotation down actually getting scouted out here. So it looks like they want to rotate down and try to get some immediate pressure onto this bot fort. But they have drawn all 5 members of Gillyhshark, who now try to engage onto ETC, and ETC just hands off keyboard is going to get stunned. And so that will be bottom camp actually picked up by Gillyhshark, as well as an important kill there. On the other side, though, Yrel has gotten the camp top. That will push, and it is stacked up with a catapult, so that's going to force a reaction from Rhaegar. But Yrel going to harass there. Gillyhshark, meanwhile, looking to push 4v3 down here in this bottom lane. Focus there onto Ektar. Separation again. Divine Shield used by Uther to get himself out. Great dive for the kill, and they continue this stagger that they've been able to maintain for a bit here. So Gillyhshark comboing extremely well. Now looking up at Yrel. Yrel gets the message saying, "All right, I'm just gonna piece on out of here." Rhaegar did a good job cleaning this up. No keep wall damage, which is always the goal in that kind of situation. That said, despite the death, we are seeing kind of an aggressive push in, wanting to chunk that bottom fort just a little bit. And they're going to be able to equalize. You look at the 2 bottom forts. 2Calculate2Throw's a little bit worse, but not dramatically so. But 2Calculate2Throw now getting their bruiser camp into the lane. Gillyhshark knows they're here, but don't really want to invade yet. 13s, though, for both teams. Rhaegar trying to get even more healing out, going with the CDR on 13, rather than that shield. And kind of surprised a bit by that. I would say that the shield, first, anti-grenades do not affect the shield. So that might help sustain it out, but instead, trying to go with just a little bit more overall throughput rather than burst mitigation. There's a focus onto Yrel, Ardent Defender used. So she is full health again. Starfall going to zone out the members of 2Calculate2Throw. Still have got some good poke damage onto this Immortal. Now the fight looking like it's going to head over to the 2Calculate2Throws. It's their turn to defend. No, still haven't really seen anyone poke up. Colonel Pants just going to eat Chest Looter's damage. Rely on the Ana to heal him up, and of course with good throughput. And now here comes the push in again, looking at X-Havoc. There's the burst damage. Here comes the focus, trying to get onto Tyrande. Cleanse used. Still, though, there's the knockback. Phoenix jumps in the back line as well. Health bar's a bit low, but they have zoned off Gillyhshark long enough to kick halftime. And so there we go. Now with the offensive burn positions, 2Calculate2Throw should have every chance they need to get a pretty healthy shielded Immortal here. Camp, though, has been picked up in the bot lane. But unfortunately, that's where the Immortal's going to go. So this Bruiser camp will get cleaned up pretty quickly and won't really do much. Gillyhshark hanging around, looking for potentially a chance to engage. And actually, there's great cleanse, but the Mosh Pit's used. Still, Mosh does get interrupted. Tries to get onto Stark now. Colonel Pants all over the back line. Nano Boost used onto Lunara. She's trying to get the damage out. Stark trying to retreat. Meanwhile, Ryukai gets chased down there by Phoenix. Great kill, a big one, as that's a huge part of their Immortal burn. They secure the kill onto Uther as well. Uther has the Ghost Heals, but the Hunter's Mark paired with the Starfall. Ooh, Zemmel blinks back in, looking for something. Lunar Flare there from Tyrande, going to be able to get away, but that is a 2-for-1 trade. That Immortal has grabbed the bottom fort. Looks like 2Calculate2Throw now, wanting to find themselves a little Rhaegar. There's the slows. Ana finds the sleep dart. Grenade used. Yrel dives in. They get the Rhaegar. Rhaegar really just had nowhere to go there. So they are going to get that pick off, and it looks like they want to immediately rotate into this top siege. Meanwhile, though, the bottom has been cleaned up, but just a barely living tower there. Top camp cleaned up here by 2Calculate2Throw. It's going to push now. Now heading down to the bot lane, going to go ahead and grab their siege. Just taking these precious few minutes to get a sip of delicious beer. But now it looks like they might push in on top, on the side of Gillyhshark. Maybe try to get this fort and equalize this catapult pressure. Nope, now needing to back up here as they say, well, we can't really trade fort for keep. And that's, I love that aggression from 2Calculate2Throw. They say, all right, you're going to go top, we're going to go bottom, and that's a trade we win. Stark really wanted to get the ETC stun, almost had the range, but just barely too far, and eventually the dismount occurred there, wasn't able to escape. Bruiser camp now going to get grabbed. Looks like Gillyhshark, though, wants to come in for an invade, maybe, or at least wants to pressure up aggressively. They are at least trying to find the members of 2Calculate2Throw. Now kind of postured as though they want to pick someone off who maybe rotates too early to the objective. Stark on the front here. He's going to step up. Combo wasn't really there. No, actually, take that back. It was the double stun. But now Tyrande, despite being in the Starfall, extremely low, needs the D-shield. Uther, though, going to get actually stunned. Great mosh pit, and there's no interrupt there. And that's going to secure 2 kills. Count it, 3. Fantastic mosh pit there. Just barely catching the Uther, and with the Divine Shield down, there was nothing to do. And now they chase down a 4th kill. They're going to be able to grab this keep here. Of course, as we all know, the keeps have recently been powered up, as have the cores. So it's unclear if they'll be able to end. I don't think they will. But it looks like they're posturing up to go for this. I think this is a really aggressive move. And I don't know if this is the right call. I think they have every ability to get a very strong Immortal. They're not even going to get the shields down before they recognize, yeah, this ain't happening, everyone's coming up. Back in the old days, you absolutely pull the trigger on that, but that particular core is very difficult to team fight against because of just the complete coverage of the roots around the core. So instead, they're going to start burning. Top, meanwhile, needs to be cleared. You can see that keep really on its last leg. On the other hand, 2Calculate2Throw has both their forts, and so there's 0 Kato pressure on the side of Gillyhshark. On the other side, however, there's a Kata every wave in bot, Kata every 3rd wave in top. So, you know, big advantage right now. Uther gonna flank onto the back, looking for the Ana. Li Ming dives in. Nano boost has been used. Ektar just has nowhere to go. He's gonna drop to that bloodlusted Rhaegar. Uther has fallen in the meantime. Now Tyrande trying to get out. Blows the Lunar Flare, looking for space. Zergy Monster is low. Zergy Monster's still alive. They have gotten Lunar and Phoenix down. They did trade out Rhaegar for it, but that is a positive trade. That said, this Immortal is so low. Yrel could jump in. She does not have Ardent Defender, but she could still just whack it a bit, get some damage. Meanwhile, though, Bruiser camp in the bot, starting to push in. We'll see this catapult in range now. Yrel coming down as well to clean it up. And keep in mind that we are past halftime, but there is a Kata on the core. Will get cleaned up by the minions this time. They're trying to go for this. They're trying to get it. They do. So 12,000 shields on the Immortal, and it is going to go into the top lane. They won't have Lunar or Phoenix right away. So there we go. This keep, of course, will fall. Question is, what can 2Calculate2Throw do with this? They are very close to level 20, but they aren't there yet, and that's a very important distinction. Now, once again, the focus on to ETC. Power slides to avoid the Li Ming follow-up. But you can just see, I mean, the combo. It's Uther to Ronda with the Li Ming follow. It's just an absolute ton of damage. Pair it with the Rainer as well. Starfall going to be used to zone out the members of 2Calculate2Throw. Now Uther and Rhaegar stepping up. There's the Bloodlust. ETC looking for the Mosh. Gets knocked back. Salvo going to be used. Trucks out a fair amount of damage, but the triple support able to clean it up. That's a Tyrande kind of a little bit late getting out. Great self-lunar flare to get away. Ryukai, though, is now low. Has to get the D-shield to stay alive. There's a two-man Mosh knockback, and that is going to be Rhaegar going down. Tyrande, very low. Stark, very low. Stark is going to drop. Tyrande is going to drop. It's only Li Ming and Raynor, and the core is down. And 2Calculate2Throw going to take game one in this series. Great ending there. All right. Well, really back and forth game. I love the comboing I saw out of Gillyhshark, but for all the pickoffs they were able to get, they didn't really have much success in the macro game. They had a hard time winning Immortals after the first. And when it came down to it, if they didn't get that pickoff, they usually got engaged on fairly hard. You saw them successfully get the pickoff a lot, but every time they failed, it seemed like they lost 3 heroes. And something they'll need to improve on the next game. But we're going to get set up for game 2. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, and thank you everyone for watching. Welcome back, everyone, to this gaming series. We saw a really fun, exciting game one with a triple support comp, because why not? But ultimately, 2Calculate2Throw saw through the cheese and managed to get themselves a one-game lead in this series. Now the key for them is going to be finishing. We've seen Calculate2Throw up 1-0 before, and they were unable to finish the series out, ultimately losing both series 1-2 to Insomnia and to Sky 5. Gillyhshark is a well-respected team. Winning this could be their signature win. I would say their schedule certainly gets easier after today's game. They have an opportunity to pick up a lot of wins this season, and I think they'll be up near the top half come the end of the season. But it's always good to have some kind of signature win to build your reputation on. And this could be that opportunity. That said, Gillyhshark choosing to take us to Volskaya. This is a map we've seen them play a lot. They chose map pick rather than draft pick. I suspect we won't be seeing Samaro, but we'll see what happens as we head into the game. Just doing a couple last-second picks here. But I gotta give a lot of credit to Ektar in that last game. He had a lot of really good saving heals. He took the armor talent on stuns, and while I'm talking about that, we can get in. Took that armor talent on stuns for Ana, which I think paid huge dividends late. So it will be interesting to see if Ana is let through, as I thought the Ana play was exceptional in that last game. Would have player spotlighted Ektar in between games, but actually I believe this is his first match of the season because he didn't show up on the Stats of the Storm that our co-caster Falendrith puts together for us. But jumping into this draft, Samaro going to get banned out. Did not expect to see that let through. As Stark is widely known as a strong Samaro player, and this is a map where Samaro can get a lot of value. Stark already, having played the hero once this season, 1-0, did die 4 times, which is never ideal, but still brings a lot of macro pressure with it. On the other side, Joanna getting banned out, not a surprise. Joanna, just an insane popularity this season. You take a look, pick rate 53%, ban rate 40%, so 90% popularity in total. Okay, thank you for that clarification, Ektar. You may have just won yourself a starting spot, is all I'm saying. It was just really exceptional play. Raynor gonna get banned out. Definitely respect onto Ryukai. Ryukai played that hero extremely well in the last game. Greymane getting banned out on the other side. Generally a strong assassin, something that I've seen 2Calculate2Throw use to some fairly good effect as well. As just a quick look here at Ryukai, 1-0 on Raynor, make that 1-1 now, unfortunately, but a very good KDA on that hero. ETC going to be the first grab here. Once again, ETC, really just a very, very popular tank at the moment. 69% popularity, still a sub 50% win rate, but I think it worked well for them in the last game. Then you can see Leoric Sylvanas. Now, Sylvanas has definitely been a popular hero this season. 53%, but a very high win rate and KDA. I mean, an average KDA across the league of 8 is actually insane when you consider that popularity. So, Sylvanas, once again, a top hero this season. I think the meta changes only solidifying that. There you can see the Jaina and the Phoenix. Zemmel once again jumping back onto that Phoenix. Worked well for them in the last game. Fear this time going to get onto Jaina. So going with a burst hero as opposed to that sustain damage we saw from Lunara in the last game. Continue to just get set up here. Bans coming in. It's going to be the Malthael ban. Haven't seen a lot of Malthael this season, except I'll say I've seen him a lot on Towers of Doom. He can definitely double soak on this map if that's what they want to do. Uther going to get banned out. taking Stark off of that hero, we have a Cho'Gall. So just real quick, you can see we haven't seen a lot of Cho'Gall. I guess we should have seen it coming with the Greymane Malthael ban. But we do indeed have a Cho'Gall now. Taking a look at the stats for Cho, which will, of course, be the same stats for Gall. Popularity, 4%. Not picked a lot, but a 71% win rate. Anna going to have a lot of damage to keep up with, but going to stick with that. Surprised we didn't see maybe a flex into something like Stukov to just have more kind of broad AoE heals. I generally like that here a lot. It's actually a very similar comp for 2Calculate2Throw. They've only changed out one hero, but we do have the Cho'Gall coming in, and that is, of course, going to be the story of this game. We did actually see Chest Looter be swapped out for Jinxie Cat before this game, so likely a planned pick, and then Kaimo is going to go ahead and grab Ariel here. Obviously, a pretty standard hero to pick with Cho'Gall. And there's not a lot of percent damage on the side of 2Calculate2Throw here. Anna's going to have it actually with the Sleep Dart, but not a lot. So it's going to be an interesting game. I'm not entirely sure what to expect here. So I will say that draft was actually kind of pretty indicative of the Cho'Gall that maybe I should have anticipated better. We saw the Leoric picked up early, although Leo's strong on this map, so I didn't really think about it. And then we saw the Sylvanas picked up. Doesn't really indicate anything, but the Malthael and Greymane bans maybe did. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to move into the game. And we're going to go ahead and introduce our two teams. On the left side, it's going to be Kaimo on Ariel. We're going to have Jinxie Cat and Stark on the Gall and Cho, respectively. Ryukai on Sylvanas and Zergy Monster on the Leoric. And on the right side, 2Calculate2Throw. Going to have to crack this puzzle here. Fear on Jaina, Zemmel on Phoenix, Colonel Pants on Yrel, X-Havoc on ETC, and Ektar once again playing Anna. And let's go ahead and take a look at those level 1 talents. Always an important part of the game. Ariel actually going to go with the damage on the healing. Going to just add a little bit of extra AoE damage. And I think that's a good way to attack the Anna. The Ariel, the Anna, not the best with AoE healing when it comes down to it. And that's something that Cho'Gall already puts a lot out of. So this is going to put a lot of pressure on Ektar this game. But we're going to see the standard kind of four top mid rotation for this map here. Already a lot of damage there on the Cho'Gall. Pops the armor just to sustain out through that for a bit. But now rotating back mid. Of course, they have the better wave clear early, although Jaina is no wave clear slouch at all. But very mana dependent. Zergy Monster rotating up, maybe looking to flank, while Sylvanas has started onto the turret camp here. Leo moving back down to fight against the Yrel. It's going to be Phoenix and Anna on the other side. Colonel Pants just making sure to stay nearby in case needed. Cho'Gall up in the top though, so not really a risk of invading right away. That said, a heal is ready for Ariel. And she drops it. You can see Cho'Gall fairly healthy. So right now, kind of a double stoke going. We see X-Havoc and Fear needing to stick around to clear this top. That does leave middle vulnerable for a bit, which Sylvanas was able to capitalize on. Here comes the flank from Cho'Gall onto that Phoenix. Going to be okay behind the wall. Pick up that minion soak. Keep in mind that Cho'Gall coming in to this game, I mean, in the late game in particular, especially if we see Reservoir of Hope from that Ariel, it's going to be really, really hard to kill Cho'Gall. Potentially with Resurrect, you're going to have to kill him twice. Now, Stacat, as it were, really wanted to get onto Ektar. Ektar taking a lot of damage there, needing to back up. Leo, meanwhile, soaking in the bottom. Both teams even on XP at the moment. We are seeing Sylvanas rotate into the siege camp while we keep our eyes on these rotations. Power slide once again. Ektar a bit low. But this front wall already taking some decent amount of damage. Could definitely enable, if indeed the vehicle is picked up, could enable just a quick finish onto that wall before a top rotation. Medical camp's still up. Nobody wanting to pull the trigger on starting it. There's no 4v4 here in the mid at the moment. ETC Urel already on the point. Started a little bit of channel progress, but Sylvanas and Leo are not going to give this up for free. Colonel Pants does take a lot of damage there from the Leo and from the Sylvanas. Zemel comes running down, drops the turret down. Played the trap card. Just threw it down defiantly. Pushing Gillyhshark off the point for the time being. Although I'm certain that that's the not the last time we're going to see Gillyhshark try to get on the point. I'm just going to start calling it staccato. Because, I mean, look at that. It's almost staccato. It's just staccat, but I'm going to just say staccato. Cruiser camp, or, excuse me, top camp now pushing in. The Reapers have been cleaned up. So we're going to need to see if 2Calculate2Throw. In the situation the last game, they've chosen to just stick it out for the objective, not try to take some time to clear that camp, and instead focus on the fight. Urel goes in, they're trying to look for Ryukai. Power Slide does miss though. Now Colonel Pants is low, gonna have to get out. Zemel with a very aggressive flank, but he's low. Sylvanas choosing not to take the Wailing Banshees on the retreat. X-Havoc low, almost dies to the Runic Bomb, but does survive. So now they will have a minute to run top and clean up this camp, and it looks like Jaina's doing just that. But Cho'Gall just continues to siege up onto this front wall. Meanwhile, turret camp's being grabbed once again, although Cho'Gall says, hey, I want that. That's mine now. I can has turret, please. Please, I want turret. Ooh, but now he is a bit low. Big heal available for Ariel, but does retreat out of that. So they don't sell out for the turret. They have one of their own. Urel just trying to get in. ETC has the turret available. There's a big power slide. Cho'Gall is low. Does get a big clutch heal there. The turret has been shut down by Sylvanas, though, and that is going to secure the kill onto Cho'Gall. And Sylvanas going to go down as well. So this will be 2Calculate2Throw winning that ever-important first objective, as this map can snowball a bit. Losing the first objective makes it harder to win the second. Losing the second makes it harder to win the third, etc. So they're going to get some damage onto this tower here. Try to clean that up for the little XP boost it brings. But their primary focus, of course, onto this top lane looking at the well. I know it's staccat, not staccato. But I'm going to use staccato because staccato is a word. And staccat is not a word. So that's my argument. And it's my stream, so neener neener. That's what I'll say. We try to be mature on the Nexus Gaming series, and I aim to disappoint. Cho'Gall starting to get this Protector down. Protector down to about 14. Did get a lot of damage though onto the top fort and cleaned up the well. Now just going to get that little XP kick from the front wall. Both teams with 10 available as Cho'Gall looks to engage. Great Twilight Dream. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Twisting Nether deletes Phoenix. But the Rear Frost turnaround does secure the kill onto Sylvanas. And now Cho'Gall is dead. The Resurrect coming in. But now Ariel is going to die before Cho'Gall is... No, did not pop the Resurrect. Sorry. I see the ghosts no matter. So didn't pop the Resurrect there, which I think was a smart choice. But another 4 kills there. Technically listed as 3. But you know, again, counting Cho'Gall as one hero, but some big kills there, and only just now is Cho'Gall coming back up. And they are going to take this fort. 2Calculate2Throw with a big lead in this game right now. You saw just such a good engage from the Cho'Gall, the Twilight Hammer into the Twisting Nether to separate out, force the engage. But just that Ring of Frost was so clutch from Fear. And now there's the Entomb trying to force the engage. Mean Beam coming out from from Zemel, chunking out a lot of damage onto Ryukai, excuse me. The Healing Totem is on the ground, but ETC snipes it. Might be enough to get Colonel Pants out of there, who otherwise would have died. Phoenix does drop, so does Leo, so a 1-for-1 trade at the moment. Cho'Gall trying to find something in the exchange but can't, and so 2Calculate2Throw with a nice steal of the healing camp. Drop it immediately to get Yrel out of there. Phoenix couldn't escape, but now we're going to see a fight over this bottom turret. Now, Ring of Frost and Nano Boost are available, but so is the Twisting Nether and the Resurrect. Here comes the big Ring of Frost. Sleep Dart used as well. Twisting Nether going to chunk out the Jaina, but Cho'Gall will fall. No, Cho'Gall gets the heal. They turn this fight around. They kill Yrel. They kill ETC. Only lose Sylvanas. There's the Entomb going to secure the kill on the Jaina, and even Zergy Monster's going to get out of there. What an epic turnaround on that fight. How did Cho'Gall stay alive? Great healing. Great job stacking that hope from Kaimo, and that is going to be enough. It was 7-1 a second ago. It is now 5-9 on the other side. Favoring 2Calculate2Throw, but you know, that was a good fight there to grab that turret, and that could pay dividends come the top fight. As you do see right now, Cho'Gall with a turret. Leo did drop one. Actually, I think the turret was still grabbed there. Ooh, focus on the Ryukai. Dodges the meme beam, dodges the blizzard, dodges the frostbolt. And Ryukai is gonna escape. Just Sylvanas things. Focus now onto Cho'Gall. Sylvanas is not here. Turret available if they need it, but Cho'Gall just so bulky with that 25 armor. Top objective now active. Cho'Gall and friends now rotating up to the top. Zemel, ooh, almost gets caught in the Entomb, but does survive. ETC was channeling the point, does rotate down to safety. Cho'Gall looking for this engage. Need to be careful of the choke point, maybe setting up Mosh, although actually Mosh is down for a minute. Worth noting, still down actually literally for a minute. Phoenix won't have his ult either. You do have Ardent Defender, Nano Boost Ring, but you also have the Twisting Nether and the Wailing Arrow on the other side, and Entomb will be up shortly, so this is a point where they need to take the fight now. There's the Sleep Dart, getting the damage, Molten Core used. Here comes the Ring of Frost, doesn't catch the Cho'Gall. Leoric did get chunked out there, but Fear is going to be the first to fall. Just couldn't get enough healing there. Leo drops next. Ardent Defender was used there by Yrel to get herself out, so 1-for-1 trade at the moment, but of course, Resurrect is an option here. Can Leo be resurrected, actually? I don't think I've ever seen that interaction, come to think of it. I guess it's not really needed since he can resurrect himself real quick. You want to save it for the Cho'Gall. Yrel dives in, gonna get the Sleep Dart from Ektar to help him get out. Sleep Dart hitting Cho'Gall. Level 15s here for both teams. 72% and counting, though, for Gillyhshark, so this is starting to stack up here, and it's going to be Ariel staying on the point as Cho'Gall looks to engage. Big two-man Entomb. ETC power slides in, uses the Mosh, but gets knocked back out of there by the Ariel. Meme Beam comes out, gets some damage. Looks like Leo might fall here. He does. Big Wailing Arrow catches 3. Now Yrel onto the back line. She does not have Ardent Defender. ETC drops there, so 1-for-1 trade at the moment. Yrel does dive into the back, sells out for the Sylvanas. Now looking for the Ariel. Molten Core has to be used there by Cho'Gall to keep himself alive. Now retreating, Ring of Frost doesn't catch Kaimo, but still drops there. And so Resurrect really hasn't gotten any value yet. I don't even think it has been used yet, if I'm not mistaken. And so, to that end, now losing potentially their second Immortal here. Still at 60% and counting, but they're going to go ahead and grab the Medical Camp. Leo just grabbing Soak here. Level 16's available, though, and that's a big power spike for Ariel and Cho'Gall. See if Ariel goes the Spell Power or Reservoir of Hope. It is going to be the Spell Power. So extra 10% spell power onto the Cho'Gall, who now comes in. There's the Entomb. Zemel gets out of there. Ektar is low. Cho'Gall diving so deep for it. Twisting Nether, looking for the turnaround. He does drop. Ariel has the Resurrect, but isn't there yet. Might not be in time to turn this fight around. Here comes the Resurrect, but Leo does drop. Ryukai in a bad position at the moment. There's the good stun, though, by Kaimo, but Sylvanas does go down. So this is still a 5v3 now. Ooh, but ETC so low, he's going to die to the poison damage unless he gets the heal from the Ana. He does not. Mean Beam used. Kaimo going to have to walk out of there. Kaimo does throw the last heal out on the Cho'Gall, but Cho'Gall is going to drop. Tries to get the trade kill. Ooh, the Ice Block going to prevent the poison damage from killing. Kaimo going to drop, and that is a 5-man team wipe in exchange for the ETC on the side of 2Calculate2Throw, and they are rolling in this game right now. 2Calculate2Throw, they are being presented a big challenge with this Cho'Gall, and they are fighting it so well. So we get guys, please here. I'm not sure what the point there was. Here comes the Triglav, focusing this bot lane as you would expect. And I think what happened that last fight was they felt they had to take the engage to not lose the Triglav, but in doing so, they took the engage before Ariel was there. The Resurrect on Cho'Gall was just simply too late. By that point, Ryukai, Leo basically out of the fight. And so then it was just a matter of math, a 3v5. Colonel Pants going in really deep here. Does not have Ardent Defender, so kind of surprised to see that level of aggression. Silence onto X-Havoc from the Runic Bomb. The Striglov Protector does drop. Great knockback onto the Cho'Gall. Entomb onto Jaina. Jaina also with the Wailing Arrow. Twisting Nether comes in with the exclamation point to secure the kill. And now the chase on the Zemmel. He's going to go down. And both the damage dealers are down. What a great engage. The Entomb with the immediate Wailing Arrow to stop the Ice Block. Jaina couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't drop the Ring of Frost. Couldn't turn around. And then you get Cho'Gall popping in with the charging Twisted Nether for the exclamation point. That's dunking on the Jaina. And that's going to secure the kill. And that's important. They get the kill before level 20. It's going to allow them to get this bottom fort, their first fort of the map, but they equalize structures there. And it's going to allow them to close this XP gap they're facing on the way to 20, which they are still behind. But they could also take the healing camp here. Looks like they want to get onto ETC. Kaimo with some really good knockback stuns this game. Has finished that knockback quest, so it's chunking out quite a healthy dose of damage every time. Healing camp now in the hands of Staccato. They're going to go ahead and take their turret too, so just grabbing all the tools on the map. They'll have 2 turrets, they'll have a healing totem. Of course, with the Cho'Gall comp, you can't carry every tool. You can only carry 4. You can't carry 5. You can carry every tool on the map at one time, but you know, if the turrets come up again, they can really only take one of them. Leo just kind of doing Leo stuff in mid, clearing up the wave, disappearing last second. I like this play, getting their own camp into lane before they clear it up. That way they can get kind of a nice, healthy wave stack here. There won't be a catapult with the next waves that will help the lane push. But during that, great decision by 2Calculate2Throw. We're just going to go ahead and take bottom fort. We're going to equalize here. Equalize the cata pressure in this lane. What does Gillyhshark now do? They also have level 20. We have the Resurrect upgrade. So that is going to be the light speed Cho'Gall. So at this point, you almost want to die if you're on the Cho'Gall. That extra move speed going to be pretty fantastic. And then to that end, it shortens the cooldown of Resurrect quite significantly. We did not see the level 20 upgrade. No, we do have the Death Mosh from ETC though. So worth keeping an eye on that, but there now you can see the poke damage of this level 20 Cho'Gall. They just walk up and they're like, alright, that's our fort now. Suck it. You don't like it? Tough. Turret camp available in the bottom. Cho'Gall going to scout it out. Yrel going to scout the Cho'Gall out. But they're not going to commit to this. Instead, they're going to say, you know what, we can play this safe. We can fight for the objective. We have a really good objective fight team.
And you can pilot the protector.
That does give 1 turret into the hands of 2Calculate2Throw against 2 turrets and a healing totem. Focus there onto ETC. Hasn't dropped the turret yet. Now drops the turret, goes in, moshes onto Sylvanas, knockback not available, Ring of Frost gonna secure it, but there's the buried alive, but the Mean Beam's still gonna get the kill. Chokehold is... What just happened? Oh my goodness, that was... People died so fast. I mean, I didn't even see how Cho'Gall died there. He just died so fast. Leo also dropping, as did Ariel, and you can't resurrect someone if you all die in the same half second of each other. I just missed everything. It was so fast. Oh, man. I thought with the Entomb, maybe they'd be able to do something, and then I'm just like, oh wait, they're all dead. Sleep Dart there onto the Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall has the Molten Core, actually, taking a lot of damage there. Leo now contesting the objective, but still not blocking channel progress. Turret going to be grabbed here. Leo stepping back up, but can't really do anything, just buying time if nothing else. But actually, I love this positioning by Yrel and Jaina. Ready to move on to the Leo, who does get picked off there. Now, he will be back fairly soon. Could also be resurrected by Ariel if needed, but I mean, we just really haven't seen resurrect value this game.
Blue team has taken control of a protector.
There we go now, Triglav Protector going to push up. Has disabled the Keep for a short period, going to start grabbing it. Keep now targeting Jaina, she's going to have to back up. Keep has gone down, this Triglav still fairly healthy. Ryukai, on the other hand, is not getting the heal from the Ariel. Staccato doing everything he can. Has to blow the Molten Core to dodge the Ring of Frost. Great use of it, though. But now just going to get popped. Deleted so fast. Ardent Defender is going to be used. Resurrection, there's the Entomb trying to get onto Fear. Fear gets out of there. Now focusing onto the core. The Triglav is down, but with 24%, it's just too little too late. And 2Calculate2Throw is going to find themselves a 2-0. Calculated2Throw. 2-0s onto the Gillyhshark, who used the two-man hero. A lot of twos. But the point is, really, really strong dismantling of the Cho'Gall comp on the side of 2Calculate2Throw. There was really only one fight that went badly against them, and the rest of the game, anytime they got a kill, it seemed they were getting trades. Just really strong showing. Really, I mean, they prevented Resurrect from ever getting value. I think we saw Resurrect twice. Literally the entire game, we saw it twice. Both on Cho'Gall, one top, one defending core. Neither got any value. Neither changed what was happening. And so 2Calculate2Throw is going to win this series. So we're going to see if we can do a post-game interview. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back over to next gaming series. DB Smiley here. I am joined by the captain, and well, tonight you played two different damage dealers. So I was about to say mage, but wouldn't be accurate. Still though, really good night, 2-0 victory. After you guys kind of came close but missed on the last couple series. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. We're starting to get in the groove of things. We've been trying to get practices in as much as we can since we're, an entirely new group of faces for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a very, very different 2Calculate2Throw from last season. We almost, a completely different team in many respects. But I mean, you guys showed up. You probably saw my power rankings early in the season. Heading in, I'm like, yeah, they have some good players, but it's kind of a super team of like some Division B people moving up to Division A. I'm a bit skeptical, and I got to be honest, you guys proved me wrong. I know that this is your first match win, but I mean, you guys have stood toe to toe with Insomnia and Sky 5. So given that you came so close to kind of getting those wins against really like top tier A teams, now going against another top tier A team. I mean, your season start schedule has been brutal, admittedly. But what does this win mean?
For us, it means momentum, really. Like, we just trying to get our feet in the division, and I think it's definitely going to help frame some of our team comps going forward.
Yeah, I think I really like the comps you guys ran. Even though they kind of hit you with a late Cho'Gall in the last game, I think you guys just dismantled it. What gave you so much success against the Cho'Gall? Because I mean, you weren't just killing the Cho'Gall, you were denying any meaningful resurrects the entire game. And what do you most attribute that to?
100% it's Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Just burning through the Cho'Gall faster than Ariel could possibly heal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pants and Ektar calling out the reses were really helpful. So just staying aggressive on our positioning once we get a kill was huge for us.
All right, and now to take it back to game one. So game one, they were very much, I mean, they ran something first unconventional, so I imagine it was an interesting conversation heading in. But you had the Ana, which mitigated a lot of the triple support's value.
Absolutely.
But how did you address their blowups? Because they did run a lot of effective blowups that game. How did you start responding to them?
We were talking a lot in draft and once the game started in the early game about how we wanted to try and play the tempo a little bit, go in, hit them with some DOT, and back up and let the objective just wear down over time since we had the Lunara.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just play the long game a little bit. And once they engaged, since they had only really Uther for the engage and then everything else was follow-up, we wanted to make sure we were saving our CC and our damage for the right time, other than just Lunara worthless poke damage, because she's got it for days if you just walk into her,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was a lot of tempo and positioning.
So what you're saying is more dots. You need dots up on every time. More dots. Come on, hit it like you mean
dots is nice because it's free damage, but it's not huge, meaningful damage. So they're not going to try and avoid it very much.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get poke damage in, and then that lets Phoenix just rinse through people.
Right.
Anybody who steps forward just gets eaten by Phoenix for the most part. And then the power slides were huge. Just anybody who stepped up was taking a dirt nap.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
a lot of that was the Ektar healing too.
Yeah, Ektar I thought played a sensational game. I mean, his grenades were on point to secure kills. His healing was on point to keep people alive. The armor, the volley of darts. I can't remember the talent name, but it's basically pew pew. It's the pew 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 talent. You know what I'm talking about, right? The one that goes pew pew. The one that makes Ana go pew pew pew. Yeah.
Yeah, she loves the pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew. All right. Well, with that, I mean, I'm happy for you guys to get this win. I was really pulling for you, the last couple weeks when you had some really tough opponents. But I think you guys made a big statement to the rest of A East. So what are your goals now for this season?
Just try and draft smart. We kind of had some rocky drafts in a couple of our games going forward, so we're going to look to tighten up the game a bit and just try and play a little bit smarter every game and see where that takes us.
All right. Well, with that, floor's yours for shoutouts.
Ektar, you healed the crap out of us. Like, whew. and the sleep darts were on point. That was awesome. But other than that, everybody just played a really tight game. So great job, everybody.
All right. And so with
Also,
that,
one
go ahead.
more. Thank you for the cast again, second week in a row.
Yeah, happy to pick you guys up. It was an early match. My week's kind of opening up now, so I'm a professor by trade, and this was my this is the week after I got final grades in. So just taking some time to relax, cast some HUNTs. So thank you for letting me cast. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and draw this evening to a close. Thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and see who is streaming now, so that way we can just keep the Nexus gaming series action going. No need to take a break now. In fact, let's kick it over to Key here. He's a good player. I want to give him a chance. He's I think getting into streaming a bit, so let's go ahead and give him some love. Pop on over, support him, support his stream.